Hey, Lucas here for Hanabi Glass. Today I'm going to show you how to make ribbon cane. We're going to keep it pretty simple, just using two colors, but once you get used to it, you can vary it to your heart's content. Anyway, let's get started. So here's what we're going to use. Dark cobalt or cobalt 4, caramel, also known as silver strike 4, some 10mm rod on some punties, another punty, a paddle, as well as some tweezers, as well as my trusty Zippo. And here's what we're gonna make. Remember, it's handmade, so it's not gonna be quite as even as if you were doing it on a lathe. Here's a nice up-close view of it. So let's get started here. Grab one of the blanks you've prepared beforehand. A little piece of 10mm rod. I'm doing about a 2cm piece of it on a 4mm rod. Get it nice and hot, and then we're gonna smash it flat. So I'm lucky enough to have a torch marver, but you can do this on just a plain carbon pad as well. So once we have the heat the way we want it, nice and even, gonna just smash it flat. Get a nice look at that there. And now I recommend fire polishing. You don't have to, but I'm gonna take a little bit extra time and get everything nice squared away and even. It doesn't make a huge difference. It's just a personal thing. So now here, gonna fire polish it smooth. This makes it so that you don't trap air in between it, and then you'll have a nice smooth surface to work with. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit hard to see, but don't worry, the one with the caramel will work out just fine. So preheat a large portion of colored glass, in this case, dark cobalt, aka cobalt 4, depending on what company you're getting it from. Preheat the blank paddle that you've made, and you're going to smear it on, and I apologize that my hand blocks it. As I said, the next part will be able to be seen a lot better. Okay, you did a good smear on it. Now grab your paddle. We're going to flatten everything out. This is one of the nice parts about having a torch marver. Granted, you don't need to have a torch marver. You can do it on just a flat pad. I'm starting with a fresh rod of color here, and you can usually get a little bit of air bubbles in the end where it's been cut, so I like to clean it off and start fresh. So get your caramel, silver strike 4, again, depending on what company you're getting it from. Hot with a lot of preheated part. You're going to just smear it. You can see a lot better this time how I smear it. The rod is 90 degrees to the other one and makes a nice flat even smear. As what we did before, heat it all up and we're going to smash it flat. Alright, so now we're going to take the second blank. Make sure to keep the first part we did warm in the backfire. but you can do that as you're heating up the blank. It's not as hot as keeping it directly in the flame. So it's a pretty good idea. I mean, if you've got your kiln turned on, you can just do that. Either way, works out fine to keep it warm. Now we get everything nice and even like before, and we're gonna squish it just flat like we did before. I don't think you have to worry too much about the fire polishing. You can do it if you really want to. That's okay. But now grab the other paddle. I'm going to burn off the extra silver on this one. And as you notice, I did use the silver rich or the color changing color second. So I'm just burning off all the excess silver here, which then will allow me to encase it nice and fresh. And squish it flat again. Fire polish. It's probably looking absolutely pretty at this point. And give it another little bit of paddling to even everything else out. And we're going to grab the second paddle here in a second, once we have it where we want to be with the silver. So preheat the whole paddle. It'll help with the laying down of the clear glass, and you'll do it more of an acute angle. Make sure you got the flame focused on the clear glass, not on the colored glass. Okay, now you see how right there? I could leave it that way and melt it in, and it would give a corkscrew as opposed to a spiral. But I want to go for a spiral, so I'm going to take off the puntee and attach it to the center, as you can see there. Then I'm going to pull off the other puntee and do the same. Now that I got everything situated the way I want it to be, I'm gonna just put it right in the center of the color part. And as I said, this will give us a nice spiral as opposed to a corkscrew. If you have them offset when you melt it in, it'll corkscrew the color glass as opposed to spiraling. And I'll say it a couple more times just for the heck of it. And now what we're going to be doing is melting everything until it's nice and round. And this will take quite a bit of time. You want it all to be nice and smooth, and if it starts twisting on you, that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. Just a slight twist is fine. If it helps you keep it balanced and helps you keep it centered, no worries. So just as we did on the mushroom bead video, you're going to heat from the outside to the outside to the outside, and the heat will slowly transfer into the center of the piece. And you want it to become nice and smooth throughout. You don't want to have any high ridges or low ridges on the piece. This will take some time getting used to. It's going to take some effort getting used to because it's going to be very hot and molten the entire time. But you don't need to turn it as fast as you think you do. Okay, so it's getting pretty smooth. All the glass is getting melted in just nice. Got a little bit of twist into it. Again, you don't have to have it twisted. It does help for having it melt more evenly. And as always, there's more than one way of doing the same thing. And here I'm going to be showing you a way that you can do it where if you need only a little bit of ribbon cane for something, you can just take a little bit of it, but I'll end up stretching the whole part out. Again, you can also scale this up into using it on a lathe as well. You're going to need a couple other people to help you out, but it's one of the best ways to get the most even cane if you're working with multiple people. All right, so now that you got it nice and melted, what you can do is you can either heat the entire piece and stretch it and spin it at the same time, which works really well for this size. But if you're doing bigger pieces, I find that it works a lot easier to adjust the flame, get it a lot cooler of a flame, work in neutral to oxygen rich part of it. And you're going to heat and pull, but you're going to slowly heat up just a little bit of the bigger piece and keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and spinning and pulling and spinning and pulling until it's exactly the size and length that you want. And you can adjust that by how fast you pull. So it's all up to you as always. Anyway, the rest of the video is just going to be basically this, where I'm just adjusting the placement of the flame and how much I'm pulling. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Also go over and check out our Instagram for all new and wonderful stuff that we have posted on there. As well as I'm streaming 3 times a week on Twitch. Drop by my channel to check out the schedule. It does change occasionally. As well as we have a Discord set up just in case you have any questions or any videos you'd like to see me make. Or if you just want to say hi. Otherwise, drop on by our website and check out everything that we have available there. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Bye.